Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, you are very welcome. Make sure that you subscribe and that you like this video, and if you're not new, welcome back. So as you have noticed, I'm not vlogging today. I decided to do something different because I feel like I'm always vlogging and I just want to switch up the type of content that I post. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. I'm a bit out of breath because I'm from working and I have to record this video really quickly because I have exams after next week, so I do need to study after this and I'll probably vlog that. But for now, I'm just going to make this video and I hope you like it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like this video and comment down below. So yeah, I got some questions from Pinterest because I realized that I only did a sit down video, I think, when I was opening this channel and also when I was doing a get ready with me, but I don't think you guys actually know me like that. Aside from my name, I just want, like, you guys to get to know me. If you have any other questions that I'm not going to tackle in this Q&A, make sure that you comment down below. But then it's not necessarily about where I stay, my name, whatever. It's more about like how I think, who I am as a person, my character, my values, what I consider right, what I consider wrong, what I like to do, what I don't like to do, and just who I am to my core. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video. So the first question is, what are the really small things in life that make you happy? I think this is a very good question to start with as an icebreaker. And I will start by saying it's not really a small thing, but I do think, in fact, not I think, my family makes me happy. I think just being surrounded by love is something that just makes me so happy. And it does seem small because I just feel like oftentimes it's taken for granted. So I would say my family makes me happy. Another small thing that makes me happy is having random conversation with strangers, like just those small talks where you meet someone and you just have a very wholesome conversation. It just gives me hope in humanity, like, okay, there are really good people out there and you could have some random conversations. It feels good. It feels really good. Another thing that makes me happy, okay, here they're saying really small things, and I don't know if this is a small thing, but also swimming. I just like to be in water and just to swim. It just feels like life is worth living again. It just feels so good, you guys. I don't even know how to explain this, but then it makes me so happy. Another small thing is just being in a very tidy environment, being well put together, and yeah, just looking around and in a very clean and aesthetically pleasing environment. I think that also makes me happy. Okay, so the next question is, has your personality changed since childhood? If so, why? This feels like a deep question to me. I know it's a surface level, but I don't know, this feels like a deep question. I think my personality as a child was more go-getter. I need to prove something, and this is suffice to say that it's not even that I had to prove things to, like, maybe my parents, or I wasn't really from such a household, but then it's just me myself. I felt like I had something to prove, especially academic validation. Like, I just felt like I need to go harder. And it's funny because now that I'm older, I don't really always feel like I need to go harder. I do give myself grace, but then I do feel like sometimes giving myself grace makes me overgive myself grace, then I become lazy, because I'm one type of a person who can't be in the middle. It's either I'm on one end of the extreme or the other. I don't know how to do things, like just be in the middle. So I do think that's how it has changed. Like, I don't really go harder anymore academically. Like, I do what I can, and I think that's because maybe I'm overwhelmed or something. And also I feel like, not really childhood, like, when I was really young, but I would say maybe in primary school, I was so friendly. Like, I was just open to making friends and just happy and excited about, like, joining with people in life. But I think growing up, like, yeah, I do want to make friends, but then I'm a bit more reserved about it, mostly because I know that it's very difficult to find people who you have the same values with, and just you want the same things out of life, out of friendship. So I'm a bit more reserved in that area now. Okay, the next question is, what chore could you go your whole life without doing? I think I would say washing. I love washing plates, surprisingly. I love cleaning the house. I love just organizing stuff. But I do not like washing my clothes. Neither do I like washing stuff like curtains, blankets. Like my white blanket right now is actually a bit messy and I have to wash it. But I've just been hesitating because I really do not like to wash. So I would go for washing. And then, what is one thing that you wish people understood about you? This is a lovely question. I wish, okay, this is not to say that if people do not understand this about me, it would take anything away from who I am. But I just wish people understood that I take my relationship with God seriously. And so there are times where I could have a close friendship with someone, and then if I notice that our value systems are very different, or maybe they do not have a relationship with God, it's very hard for me to continuously and confidently journey with that person. And I also wish people knew to say that in the same way that I provide community for them, I provide a safe space, or maybe just friendship and companionship and all that stuff, that they would also like give me the same energy. In certain situations, especially over the past few years, I've always felt like, okay, maybe this energy is not being reciprocated as much as I would love it to. And I really would love it if people knew that I love reciprocation. And I was actually talking about this with a same friend of mine. I used to live with someone at some point who it felt like I always had to take the lead with things, like when it comes to maybe, let's say, buying groceries, when it comes to paying rent, paying bills. Of course, they would give me their half, but then it felt like I was the one in my masculine energy and they were in the feminine energy. There was no that, like, okay, let me help you out with this, let me do this, let me do that. Sometimes we'll go get groceries and then she'd expect me to carry, like, maybe the heavy stuff and everything. So I would wish people knew that I want reciprocation and just to be treated maybe the way I treat other people, and not to be taken as, oh, this is the way she is, so let's continue moving like that. Yeah. Is your personality similar to that of your parents? I feel like in so many ways, yes. I do see some parts of my dad and some parts of my mom from me. I would say I'm similar to my mom in a sense that I am a go-getter. I have an entrepreneurship mind. Like, I like to be able to be independent and just make money for myself, because my mom is very independent and she's always had an entrepreneurship mind regardless of going to school. And that does not mean that my dad does not take care of her. Of course, he would take care of her like the princess that she is. But she's always been the type of person who wants to be able to fend for herself, regardless of what other people are able to do for her. And she's just a very firm and grounded person in who she is. She does not seek approval from other people. She's just who she is, and that's just the way it is. And then I think for my dad, I am social and I'm very compassionate. He's a very compassionate person and he's very loving. He's very, like, he gives audience to every single person. Like, he's not choosy of like status, be it financial or whatever. Like, he's able to accommodate people and just have compassion for people regardless of what they have done. But then I do feel like he has stronger boundaries than I can ever have. And also he's very intelligent and very accomplished. So I think on that part, how do you like to express your appreciation for someone? I feel like I love to give people gifts, because in as much as I pride myself in being very expressive, there are moments where, or depending on the person, there are times that I'm not able to like fully express myself. So I do like to give people gifts, and then I know sometimes people will take it as like, like she just gave me a small gift and it doesn't mean anything, or she's just doing it just to, it's a bit performative, like for some people, like when you're a giver, or you love to give gifts or something. But I feel like for me it's a way of expressing my gratitude, and other times just through actually saying it. And also I do have a friend who always shows up for me. She's like always in my corner, and I express that gratitude to her usually by doing it for her as well. So I would say through reciprocation, through gift giving, and through actually expressing. It just depends on who it is. Like, what I do to express my gratitude depends on who it is and the context of the situation. Okay, so my phone is starting to have like some space issues. So let me just hurry up so that I can do this really quickly. Um, the next question says, what is your biggest weakness and what is your biggest strength? I feel like my biggest weakness, I would say, is the fact that sometimes I am very emotionally in touch with what happens within me and around me, especially if it's people that I'm close to, like maybe let's say friends or family. So there's certain things that really do get to me a lot, like more than they should. So I think that could be a positive in certain instances, but in some situations it could be a negative. My strength, I would say, is that I do believe that I'm an alchemist. I know that regardless of the situation, I'm always able to derive beauty or just not dwell on the negative aspect of something. So it doesn't matter like where I'm taken or what happens, I'm always able to just look on the bright side. And I do feel like that's a strength. And also, another thing I would say is a strength is the fact that I have Jesus in my life. I think the moment I just got saved, the moment I got born again, like it's always been Jesus who's been the Lord of my life, you know? Like, I don't have to fight all the battles that happen in my life. I don't have to do too much. In fact, I don't even have to do anything. All I have to do is just sit and allow God to be God and do what He has to do. That does not mean that I have no responsibility to play in certain things, but then I do feel like with God by my side, like that's the biggest strength that I can ever have, because His grace and His favor locates me even in situations where I did not deserve it. So that's a strength that not even money can buy or skill can attain. How do you make your decisions? By intuition or by logic? There's a bit of noise outside. I hope you guys can pick that up. I feel like it depends on the situation. I'm going to talk about how I ended up coming to the university that I came to. So initially, I did want to go abroad, like when I was in high school, but once I graduated, I just lost interest for some very weird reason. And mostly because I was advised to say my program, which is medicine, it's easier and just better to do in your country, less complicated. So at that point, I had applied to the University of Zambia and also to where I am right now. And I remember going to Unza and just thinking like, okay, this is a very good university, you know, it's big, it feels like uni. Like, okay, you know. And then I came to my university, which was fairly new. I was actually in the first intake. And I just remember thinking like, I should be at this school, like I need to come here. And I felt so drawn to it, like my intuition just kept telling me that I need to go there. I remember being accepted even at Unza, and I just still felt like I need to come to this uni. And that's one of the situation in which I would have used logic like in the past, but in that particular instance I use intuition. So it really just depends, and sometimes also the leadership of the Holy Spirit affects the way we make decisions. So certain things are not always logical, they don't always make sense to man or to other people who are watching, but then if you do feel a leading from the Holy Spirit to do a particular thing that does not make sense, not even to you, I feel in that situation I would use intuition. But then there are those situations where I have to analyze and use my brain and be logical. So it really just depends on the context of what's happening, and just everything just depends on so much. Name the biggest what if in your mind. I think the biggest what if for me, I know most medical students don't talk about this so much, but it's more like, what if I did not choose the right program, or what if I'm not where I'm supposed to be, or where I can actually fulfill purpose, because it's a very demanding career, it's very time consuming, it's a service to other people. So it's unlike, I don't think there's a career that you can compare medicine to. I have heard law students talk about how it's very hard, and I do get that, but then it's not necessarily the same, because the amount of service and servitude and self-sacrifice you do in medicine is very, very, very different, and you only understand it once you're actually in the system, or once you're actually a student or you're working. So the times I do think like, okay, what if maybe I had done something else, because what if this is not going to work out for me, or maybe it does not bring me as much happiness as I thought it would. So that's something I'm still praying about, but then it does come to mind a lot. What other questions? I'm nearly done with the questions. What is something about yourself that you think is uncommon? I would say compassion. I think I'm a very compassionate person, and I give people grace, and I'm always giving people the benefit of the doubt, which is one thing my sister is always like, when she say me something, then I'm just trying to look at the bright side. She's like, girl, open your eyes. So I think I'm always trying to look at the bright side and just giving people the benefit of a doubt, which I do feel is uncommon, because I have also been a victim of not being given the benefit of the doubt, and I do not hold anyone like accountable for that. But it's just something that I feel is very unique about me, that I have space like to believe in people, believe that things can change, believe that there's actually good intention behind what is looking malicious. So yeah. And then this is the last question. I think I would have to do another one because I'll keep going and going. The next question is, what is your favorite childhood memory? There are so many, guys. I just want to say thank you to my parents, because my childhood was amazing. And there are so many things that I can think about, but I think one thing is when, actually 2 occasions, we lived in a yard that was surrounded by 2 empty yards. So we didn't have neighbors on both sides. We only had neighbors on this side, and it was a close. So the next yard had like a lot of trees. It was just a very dangerous place, and we used to call that place Livingstone, because we and my sisters hadn't yet been to Livingstone. So we went in the next yard, Livingstone, with our friend Theo from the neighbors, and we just had so much fun. I think that's one of my favorite childhood memories. And also there's this once we made a pool, because we used to tell my friends, we want a pool at our place, and we didn't have a pool for a long time. In fact, we didn't even, up to now we don't even have a pool, but we dug up something like that. We asked the gardener to help us. I don't even know why he was helping us, that man. He dug up something for us, put a plastic, we put in water, we started swimming, and we were so dirty. So immediately my mom honked on the gate. We ran and applied Vaseline so she can think we bathed, and it was just so funny. It was so hilarious. Another one was when we made cakes. We used to make cakes with soil and just write on top, like with boom, like decorating the cake. Then there's this one cousin of ours. I don't know if she had come to visit us, and I don't know if she's used to send us to do things, because at home, like, my parents never really used to send us to do much, because we did have a helper and we were fairly young. But then, sometimes certain relatives will come and then, they'll just send you do this, do that, which is just the normal way. I'm not even saying that they were mistreating us, no. But then we made a song for her. We made a song that, she's treating us like slaves and savages and whatever. It was so hilarious. I think that those are one of my top 3. Yeah, that's what I would say. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure that you let me know in the comments, you like this video, you comment down below. I think I've already said that. And that you subscribe, catch up with my previous videos if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching.